Exercise 1, choosing and swapping units. For number 1, you say A, 1 centimeter equals how many millimeters? So grade 6s, you must write the 1 centimeter in your book and then equals to, and then write your answer in millimeters. With number B, you do exactly the same. 1 meter equals, and you write how many centimeters as well as how many millimeters. So 1 meter equals to how many centimeters? 1 meter equals to how many millimeters? For number 2, you bought a meter of chocolate, so that's important. It's a 1 meter of chocolate, which is quite large. Now they ask you at number A to copy and complete the table. You have been given this table, so you can just paste it in your books at number 2. And then it's important to note that they've divided it into 8 bars of equal length. For the first column, you have to write the fractions. So if you have 1 bar out of the 8, what will be the fraction? 2 bars out of the 8, 4, 6, and then 8 in the end. Please remember, when you have to write fractions, you must simplify as far as possible. When you are done, you have to complete the next column, which is length in centimeters. So remember, this chocolate was given in meter. Now you have to take those fractions and determine what will the length be in centimeters. And after that, you convert it to the length in millimeters. So you have it in meter, now centimeters, and then millimeters. You do not do number 2B, so you can just ignore that question in your books. When we get to number 2C and D, we are going to combine those questions because at number C it says write the following in millimeters, and then they ask you to write it in centimeters. So instead of writing it out twice, we are only going to write it out once. So you say C plus D, and then you write in your books I. I is 1 meter. You always write the sum as well. Then you say equals, and you write your answer in millimeters, and then you write your answer in centimeters. So in one line, there will be 2 answers. First the sum, then equals millimeters, and equals to centimeters. And you do that for all 4 examples. First in millimeters, and then in centimeters. Grade 6s, if it's easier for you to first do it into centimeters, you are welcome to first do centimeters and then meters. Now we get to number 3. We only want you to choose one of the answers. So they give you the sum, A is 0.8 meters. What is also the same as 0.8 meters? Is it 8 centimeters? 80 centimeters or 800 centimeters. Whichever option you choose, you only write the answer. So you would say 0.8 meters equals to, for instance, 8 centimeters. You don't say I, or I. You only write the answer after you've not written the sum. Do the same with B, C, and D. So 0.7 meters equals to, and you simply write one of those 3 answers in your books. For number 4, they want you to write 8.768 meters into millimeters. So you write out the sum equals and then the answer in millimeters. At B, you have to write 4.095 meters in centimeters and in millimeters. So again, you can leave out the I and the I, and you simply write down the sum 4.095 meters equals to how many centimeters equals to how many millimeters. And the same you do for number C. You write out 2.34 meters and then you convert it into centimeters and after that into millimeters. For number 5, they want you to order these from the longest to the shortest. So you don't have to, for A, write anything with the Romanian numbers. You can simply write these 3 in the correct order. But for 5B, you need to refer to these Romanian letters again. So write the distances above in millimeters to check your answers. So what you will do, you will write 5b and then I 2,009 meters equal, and you write your answers in millimeters. And you do exactly the same for the other two. First write out the sum and then your answer in millimeters. For number 7, they are basically looking at rounding off. So they want to know if that unit is closer to 5 meters or 4 meters. So you have to write down 4,896 meters, and then you use the rounding off waves, and you then either say round it off to 4 meters or 5 meters. You choose one of the two, but you don't say equals because it's not equal to, it's rounded off closest to that. Same with 3,76 meters, rounded off and either to 3 or to 4 meters. So you complete that for A to F, and remember you use the rounding off sign. At number 8, they speak about a girl or a person who's 154 centimeters tall. Is this, and you have to give the option, so you just say A, and you either say less than a meter, about a meter and a half, or about 2 meters. You don't say the I. And then at number B, you have to write her height in meters. Use decimals. So again, you're going to say 154 centimeters equals, and you write it in meter. For number 9, how many 25 millimeter strips can Mr. Molebatse cut from? And then they say 2 meters and 0,5 meters. So here we want you to write a number sentence and an answer. But grade 6s, before you can divide these strips into 2 meters and 0,5 meters, you need to make them the same unit. You cannot divide millimeter into meter. You either need to make this meter or you need to make this millimeter, whatever is the easiest for you. So we want a number sentence and then the answer. For number 10, it's another word sum. Mrs. Claus needs to buy material to make a curtain. She needs material that is 144 centimeter wide and 225 centimeters long. Write these measurements in meters, use decimals. So again, you're going to say 144 centimeters and 225 centimeters, and you write them in meter. And then the last question, how much material will she need to make 2 curtains? And you don't need a number sentence there, you can just write the answer.